Hi everybody, this is Susan with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. Today I'm going to be doing some cards using the Case Sketch Challenge that I presented this month in my Show and Tell newsletter. I started this last month. Casing a card is nothing new to the craft, but it's something new to my group of stampers. So today I'm going to show you some cards I've done using a similar design, and then I have two cards that I've sort of papered out a little bit to show you today. So if you want to subscribe to my Show and Tell newsletter, there's a link below, and anyone is welcome to subscribe and to partake in this challenge for the month. And if you create a card following the challenge and send me a photo, you get entered to win some Stampin' Up! Bling at the end of the month. So it really can be fun for anybody, and there are no rules. You can use whatever supplies you have in your craft room. So first I'm going to start by showing you some cards that I've done in the past. This one is actually one I did for my Bundle to Go customers that are doing the Petal Palette, and you still have time to sign up for this through the end of this week, April 7th. If you want to partake in my Bundle to Go, you get to do 6 different cards using this stamp set, and I send you the video and the instructions and a kit to make your own. You just need to have the supplies of the stamp set and ink. So there's that one. This is one I did. It's going to be a Mother's Day card for the flower shop here locally, but it's that same kind of idea where there's a highlighted piece with some sort of embellishment. So, but that one's a little bit off to the side. And then this is one I did a couple years ago, one of my favorite cards, where I just used designer series paper as a background and then highlighted in the sentiment. And this is when we had the owl punch. I'm sure many of you remember the owl punch. So those are 3 variations on using that same sketch, and as you can see, they're not exactly the same. This one's centered, this one's off to the side, this one has a big embellishment, this one has a small embellishment. This one's very true to it, it's all stepped in. So as you can see, you can really create any creation you want using this layout as a sketch. Okay, so size and materials and embellishments, there's no rules, it's whatever you want to put together. So let me put these aside, and I'll get started with 2 I have laid out for you today. The first one we're going to use Picture Perfect, and as you can see I've kind of laid it out. We're going to stamp and add some bits to this, and then we'll put the card together. So first we're going to stamp the candles, and I got my markers out because I want 3 different color candles. And I wanted to be able to stamp them all at the same time, so what I did was I positioned the rubber on my grid sheet and then I put my block down on top, so I was able to make sure they were all lined up. And now I'm just going to come in with my markers, and with my marker tip I can just brush this along on my marker, on my stamped image, to ink that up. If you ink your marker up, ink your stamp up with this, when you're done applying all your color, you're going to want to huff it. So you just breathe heavy on your stamp to make sure your ink is nice and moist before you stamp it down, because in between colors, right, it's drying in the air. So you want to make sure that you're going to get a nice impression of your stamp with nice moist ink. So we just huff it to re-moisten that ink. So, okay, so there's that. So let me huff. And then I'm just going to stamp this down. I'm going to stamp it pretty close to the bottom because I want to be able to get the flames on there for the top of the stamp. So there's that. So now I've got my little flame, and I'm bringing in Daffodil Delight to do the little flame. So the 3 colors I picked coordinate with colors of the bows in the paper. And all the details will be on my newsletter next month for the colors that I used. So there's that, and then I'm going to use Memento because it's sitting here on my table, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment, Celebrate the Good Stuff, right over the top in black. See? All together. Nice and easy. So now let's just put our cased card together. So I'm going to bring in my snail. So I'm going to layer these two pieces. This is going to become my center focal point. And if you don't want your edging as big, you can always trim your cardstock down to be less of an edge. And then I've got two layers here. I've got a white card, and then I've got Lemon Lime Twist and the Designer Series paper. So I'm just going to create layers. One on top of the other. It's really a pretty simple one to work with. And then I have a piece of our shimmer black ribbon. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it around and snail it on the back, and then I'm going to slide it underneath to make a bow. Let me show you. So I flip this over. I'm going to add some snail there on the edge, and then I'm just going to wrap this and tack it on the back. See? Tacked on the back. Then I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals, and I'm actually going to overlap my dimensional on that ribbon. That'll help secure it as well. Peel all those off. Okay. That's going to go in the center. Now if you don't want to do it in the center, you could pull it off to the side. Okay, but I'm going to stick with the center, this one. And then I'm going to slide this one underneath. See how this looks. Might be too much, but we'll see how it looks. And so I'm just giving it a little tug, and then I can just trim that with my paper snips. This one I'm going to trim kind of short because I don't want it to be too big. So there we go. Nice simple case of that sketch. Okay, so here my embellishment is my bow. Okay? Alright, so that was the Picture Perfect sample. Now from Celebration, you might have some of these papers from the Sweet Soiree Memories and More. This was a product you could get during Celebration. So what I've done is I have two pieces, okay, and I put them down so they're going to become my base. So I'm just going to go ahead and snail those on. So I know I want the border to be about 1/8 of an inch on the outside. So now let me add this one. Just going to piece those two papers together like that. Okay, then in that same kit I had this piece that I've trimmed down to much smaller than it was. Okay, that's going to get mounted on another piece of Rich Raspberry. So I'm just staying with the colors from our Designer Series paper. Okay, and then I'm going to use from the stamp set a Mother's Flair. Okay, it's this one. It's in our spring catalog for Mother's Day. I'm using this one, and I'm going to stamp Happy Mother's Day on here. There in the center. Okay, and then I've already stamped and cut out the cute little hat. That's going to be my embellishment. So that's going to get a dimensional. And I think I'll put the tag on dimensional as well. So this is going to go in the center. Like that. And then this is just going to go down there to give it a little embellishment. So pretty quick, I think, case that you could work up. Okay, so there's the two from today, and then again, like I said, here's one I did a few years ago, that cute owl. And here's the one I did using the spring foil papers from Celebration. You might have some of those. And then this last one was from the Petal Passion Bundle to Go kits that I've offered for you guys to sign up for if you want to create those cards as well. So there you go. I hope you understand how the case works. Remember, you can subscribe here to YouTube not to miss any of my videos. You can subscribe to my newsletter to see this challenge and my card candy challenge, plus those bundle to go offers that I'm offering each month. And those newsletters come out every Tuesday, and this video will be on next Tuesday's edition. So I try to do the 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then those are all on my Tuesday newsletter with all the links to the information, measurements, instructions, hints, we'll set that, so that you don't have to miss anything or guess. You say, oh, what did she use? It's all right there for you. I gave it to you. So sign up for my newsletter. Participate here. Give me some thumbs up and comments. I love that. And I will see you all very soon to do some other fun projects. So have a lovely day. Do some fun stamping and try this sketch. Enter the competition this month and see if maybe you're going to win. All right, everybody. Thank you, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.